Hi guys, so welcome to the part 2 and the completion of our correlation coefficient video tutorial. And so what we have done is we have imported packages, we have generated our data, and now we would like to, I'd like to visualize the data. So work with me as we do the data visualization. We're going to build a scatter plot, and then we're going to calculate the correlation coefficient, which is between -1 and +1. Also, just so you know, in the first video, I was explaining stuff here. This is +1, not -1. Yeah, so I watched that video again, and I figured, oh, there was an error, but that's fine. Right, so the next I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize, I'm just going to plot a scatter plot, right? So here, I'm going to do a scatter plot. So I'm just going to do PLT, because of course I have imported the packages. So I'm going to do PLT, my data. We already know what that is. I'm going to use my data, and I'm going to say, okay, this is going to be X, and then it's going to be data, and I'm going to represent Y, right? Next is I want to plot the title. I'm going to put a title, so it's plt.title. Here we are. Then I'm going to call this scatter plot of X versus Y. So that's what it is. So it's a scatter plot of X versus Y. Right. Next, I am going to do plt.xLabel. So what we're going to label X, the x-axis, I'm just going to call it X here. And of course the PLT, the Y label, and simple stuff. I'm just going to call this Y. And then we go on to use plt.show, and we should have this. Right, so look at that. Now we have a scatter plot, and you can see we have from the x-axis and we have the y-axis. Now you can see that there's some kind of a relationship that's happening. So when I said one variable, which is x, and a y variable, and you can see as the variable just keeps progressing. That's why I mentioned when one goes up, the other one goes up too. And so you can see that there's a progression, right? So this scatter plots are used to visualize relationships, right? So the next I'm going to do now is I want to calculate the correlation. And so here I am gonna do the calculate correlation. Right, to do that, I'll call this co_matrix. I just call that. It's typical most times. Now I'm just going to say data dot, and there is a function or a method called core. See that? And if you look at the documentation here, it says it computes pairwise correlation of columns. So we have two columns here, and in data, and that's X and Y. So I'm just going to print. I'm going to print this. So I just call this. I'll just call this. Normally, I can choose to use. I'll just call this a correlation between X and Y. Let's just go and do this. Something like this. So we are going to have this correlation matrix here. Right. So you can see here we have a correlation coefficient between X and Y, which is 0.94. Now, if I go back here, you see what we mentioned about correlation. Say the +1 indicates a perfect positive relationship. So that means this is near perfect correlation between X and Y. You can see that because it just keeps growing up. So a perfect example might be a hike in fuel price and the price of fuel, diesel, gas, and then a corresponding hike in cab transportation prices. So this is typically what you will see happening. So this what it is. Anything close to one, it indicates that one variable increases and the other tends to increase. A value, a coefficient value close to -1 indicates that one variable increases and the other tends to decrease. So that was kind of the explanation I was given in part 1, but this is what it is typically. So please, I need you to watch this video over and over again. If you have, if you feel like something isn't clear, drop a comment in the comment section, and just keep, taking it one step at a time, one Python object at a time.